Can I say good afternoon to Australians one and all? And especially good afternoon to the Canberra Press Gallery, who have been hounding me like a desperate ex-boyfriend who's finally realised what he's missing. As you may be aware, I visited the Governor-General of our great nation to ask permission to dissolve Parliament and call a general federal election. Why I had to ask is beyond me. I thought I was calling the shots around here these days, but hey, apparently them's the rules. I went to see Australia's first female Governor-General, Quentin Bryce, as Australia's first female Prime Minister. And geez, it felt good. I said, "How are you?" And she said, "No, how are you? I love what you're wearing." And I said, "This old thing, I even forgot I had it." I said to her, "Your hair's looking really nice at the moment." She said, "Oh, I noticed Tim did your roots last night." And I said, "I could not take this country to an election showing greys." We had a giggle. And I said, "Quentin, now about the election." She said, "Oh, don't ask me. I voted for Kevin." We had another giggle. I said, "I think August 21 is the best date because it fits in best with my cycle." And she said, "Well, whatever fits in best with your cycle is going to be best for the nation." And we had another giggle. Then we discussed our fave Sex in the City episodes, and I left Yarralumla, and here I stand. So, on August 21, I'll be asking the Australian people for their trust. I'll be asking them for their honest and truthful responses to my policy statements, my actions, my outfits, my hairdos, and to various gaffes my ministers will make. Don't expect to see too much of Peter Garrett this campaign, people. I'll also be asking for a range of honest Australian responses to my tweets and my Facebook updates. But most of all, I'll be asking the Australian people to move forward. Again and again and again and again, I will ask the people of this great nation to move forward. In the front seat of the car, could you just move forward? When you're stuck in traffic, could you move forward? In the queue at the bank or the supermarket, could you move forward? All for the good of the nation. I'll never stop asking the Australian people to move forward because I believe in this forward motion, in never moving back, in moving forward. I believe in it to my very core, which is moving forward as I speak, as opposed to my opponent, Mr. Tony Abbott. Mr. Abbott would have this country looking back to the past, to the vast amounts of time that existed before I became Prime Minister 3 weeks ago. A time when a lot of things took place that I will, but ultimately shouldn't, take credit for. He would have this country look back to a time when he thought the public seeing him in budgie smugglers was a good idea. Perish the thought, perish the opposition leader. I wish he were dead, buried and cremated, however that works. So I see that time has moved forward again. I have to get back to the job of moving this country forward to make the best use of this honeymoon period. As Tim says, it's probably the only honeymoon he's going to get. So I urge you to vote for me on August 21. The election could have been as late as November, but in keeping with my new policy direction, I moved it forward. Thank you.